What's up, guys? How you feeling? How you doing? Where are you at? You know what? Let's try something new, truth tellers. Can you just put where you're at in the chat box? We want to know, who are we talking to? Where are you calling in from? Where are you tuning in from? Because you are in for a treat, truth tellers, okay? If you are new here, welcome to Truth Talks. And now let's get straight to it, okay? Some of y'all are out here screaming king energy while finessing queens out of their rent money, love, and self-worth. But also what's worse is the game just literally leveled up. With AI and deepfakes, it's no longer just smooth talk, WYD DMs. I hate those, by the way. And pretty pictures. Now it's cloned voices, fake videos, and full-blown digital illusions, okay? So tonight, we're talking about the new hustle, the internet catfish, fake names, fake photos, fake love stories, real money gone. But here's the real scandal. It's not just tech that's making it hard to spot the fakes. It's the fact that too many of us are still confusing emotional manipulation with modern romance. Black women are getting played by ghost husbands, soldiers overseas, or that businessman who just needs one more cash app. Dear Lord, we're going to get into that. But tonight, this is what we ask. When did scamming Black women become acceptable inside of our culture? And why are we still falling for it? That's really my question. Oh, and by the way, have you been scammed out of money by our very own Dimitri Wiley? Guess what? You haven't. You were not. It wasn't him, but buckle up because this one is going to sing. Truth Talk starts right now.
Are y'all ready to roll? Let's go.
Sarah Fontenot with the flow, but I actually have been scammed out of money by Dimitri. So you speak for yourself, sister. We're going to get into that. Maybe not today, but we are going to get into that. But that was Dr. Sarah Fontenot with the intro mentioning the rascal Dimitri Wiley. Why are you scamming people?
You know, Torre, you send me the time you send me 10,000 as a loan. Like, I probably appreciate you, but I told you I didn't need it. Thank you anyway. Thank you anyway for being such a hospitable man. It's an honor to be here with you guys, but no, for everybody listening, it wasn't me. We'll talk about it.
Dr. B, you've been scammed by Dimitri?
Oh, you know what? I think I'm the one doing the scamming. I always say if I got to be between the pimp and the hoe, I'd rather be the pimp.
I know that's right.
I'm sorry, brother. I pay well, though. I pay well.
Wow.
But I ain't selling it.
Wow.
I ain't selling it.
Are you interested, Dimitri? I think you should take her up on her. I should consider it.
You know what I'm saying? I can't. Listen, my name is already in too much.
You gotta consider the offer. Look, today we're gonna get into digital pimps like Dr. B. We're gonna get to DMs like the one Dimitri sent me, and deception in hustle culture. It's gonna be a big show. Let's start with the trending truth around Shannon Sharpe.
Today, we're going to be diving straight into the wildest legal twists in celebrity news, like ever. So y'all know it happened. There was a $50 million sexual assault lawsuit against the NFL icon, Shannon Sharpe, and podcast guru and business owner and serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
But okay. This is the thing. And I said it because I was on that show. I said it. This is the kicker. When the case hit court for its first appearance, the plaintiff's legal team straight up didn't show up. Like, what does this ghosting in courtroom really mean? Is it a delay tactic? Is this a red flag? Or is this just the start of something even bigger? What do you think, Torre?
No, this is a really bad sign for a legal team to just not show up. Says they don't have their shit together. They don't have their evidence. Maybe they don't have their witness in tow. This is bad for the case, and this risks getting the case thrown out. So when Shannon and his team get to the courthouse and they see the other legal team didn't show up at all, they're kind of celebrating. They're feeling a little relaxed. They're feeling like, oh, this might work out for us.
Are they still alive?
I mean, I don't have any knowledge of their whereabouts or whether or not they're alive, Sarah. I would assume. I've heard a story about a legal team getting mowed down, but I assume they're still alive.
I mean, it happens every day.
Whole legal teams dying? I'm not sure that happens every day.
Stranger things have happened, Touré. Stranger things.
For me, this is like, it's amazing to me how the courtrooms are turned into like fucking comedy now, or like a TV show. Like, it's less about like law, and this is like becoming more and more evident in cases all across the entertainment industry. Everything's about the media standpoint and the way we're perceiving it in XYZ, so much so that now we get the courtroom and we don't even have lawyers. Like, it ain't just messy. Like, it's a little suspicious. Like, oh, I ain't saying nobody did. I ain't saying that.
We you're talking about?
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm saying you, Touré. It's you.
Lawyers. Who are you talking about?
I think you have a lot to do with a lot of this that's going on. So you might as well snitch on yourself now. Please.
We didn't show. You're just coming up with things on top of your head. Doc, what is going on here?
I think that, everything's money. Attorneys used to be, their whole job was to make sure that there was evidence provided that can prove allegations or prove against allegations, right? I think that they're starting to see, look, if this case gets to a point where I feel like I can't win and I can't be in my bag, then I'm gonna pull out. It's no longer the attorney who's within their integrity that says, hey, Touré, I'm representing you. I'm in court and we're gonna roll this thing all the way out. That's just what I look at it as that. And I feel like if the lawyer said, I'm out of here, it could have been something that happened behind the curtain between him and Shannon. Shannon, may not always be the guy who has the best personality to work with. There is a lot of arrogance that goes on there. We do see we heard the interaction between him and the young white girl that he is allegedly in court for. And so who knows, maybe something happened between the attorney and him. I know. It was
the other team that didn't show up. Not Shannon's team showed up. It was the other team that didn't show up.
So there might have been something that happened between Shannon and the other team, meaning attorneys talk to each other. Touré, you've been.
Plaintiffs wouldn't not show up because they both wouldn't show up because we made a deal, we finished this, but you wouldn't have just the plaintiff didn't show up.
Okay, Touré, you go with that mindset I'm talking about. Okay, let me go.
No, this is reality.
No, this is your reality.
Mindset.
That's your reality. Let me go a little more street for you. It's called pay to play. Attorneys talk, sweetie. The defending attorney and the attorney who is actually prosecuting talk to each other.
Civil case. There's no prosecution. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's not a criminal case. It's a civil case.
Attorneys, attorneys talk.
It's a civil trial.
Just like you keep talking. Attorneys talk. The plaintiff and defendant attorneys talk. A lot of times they're making behind the curtain deals that say, hey, look, if we can pay out this or you can pay out this and you don't show up to court, this is how the case could get done. If you're that naive to think that attorneys don't talk to each other because you have a plaintiff and a defense attorney, that's what they do. No, it's not making it up.
Okay.
That's what.
All right, let's get back to reality. Where plaintiffs don't just not show up because Shannon Sharp told them not to.
I didn't say Shannon Sharp. I said his attorneys might have had a conversation. And if this is too much for you to gulp because you don't understand reality. It, your naivety, that's on you.
Misinforming the audience. It's not reality.
For the viewers who are watching, attorneys do talk and they make deals behind the curtain that are out of court many times. And oftentimes they will talk and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is the strategy for a win-win. That's exactly what they do, oftentimes.
Not a win-win at all. Let's move on to where something that she might know what she's talking about. Other celebrity news, back when Jay-Z launched Tidal, he brought in a handful of major artists, Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye, Madonna, Nicki Minaj, trying to say, look, this is an artist-owned streaming space as opposed to Spotify. It was all about Black excellence, luxury photo shoots. Now the glitter is gone, Tidal is not working out, and the lawsuits are creeping in. And Nicki Minaj says Hove owes her $200 million from the Tidal deal. Is this a fight for what she's owed or the start of hip-hop's biggest power clash? Dimitri, what do you think is really going on behind the scenes here? Is this broken contract, shading accounting, or Nicki firing shots to reclaim the power of the money that she's owed?
I don't think something so large would come from Nicki Minaj's camp if it wasn't some validity to it. I can't verify the dollar amount. I'm not in the contract rooms, but to preach Black excellence, as Hove has always done, and to come up with something, because when Tidal hit the scene, Tidal was very revolutionary for what streaming music was, allowing, like you said, allowing the artist a space. But the thing about it is, you can't be out here not paying these artists if that's the case. So in my opinion, I look at it from the outside looking in. I think there's a lot of legal drama surrounding this. The paperwork got to be clean if there's ownership. And if you're promising each and every artist ownership of something, you gotta deliver on them funds when that check's supposed to clear.
Sarah, I don't know how much each artist's stake was in this, because I remember the Tidal announcement, there was a good 10, 12 artists on stage with him. I don't think the Tidal has risen in value so much that Nicki Minaj's stake would be worth $200 million. I'm not sure how we're getting to that number.
Yeah, I have no idea how we got to that number. Again, I'm kind of with Dimitri. I haven't seen the contract. And, sometimes when you're so successful in so many different ways, and I personally don't know many ways that Jay-Z hasn't been a win, like most of the things that he puts forward do win. And sometimes you bank on that, you bank on the name, you bank on the reputation. And we all know barely anybody switched over to Tidal. The truth is, it's just harder to get people to new platforms that they're not familiar with. Although, okay, you did, you and 3 of your friends. Okay. The rest of us probably did not switch over to Tidal. And I think that it was based on the projection of where it could go with their names, because look, you've got Madonna, Kanye, Rihanna, Beyonce, and I was upset because there were times where you couldn't even get Beyonce songs on Spotify. You had to go over to Tidal. You know what I did? I stopped listening to Beyonce.
What?
I did.
What?
I did.
Oh my God. You're such a Canadian. Mute her mic. She's off the show. The agency will be around to pick you up.
Touré, I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how many times, don't make my life hard. It shouldn't be this hard to download an app. It shouldn't be this hard to try
to Spotify. I would go anywhere for Beyonce music.
Well,
Are you kidding?
I went to a concert.
New app to the top of the Amazon.
Tears, okay? I'm a fan. That's my point.
You're not in the hive. You're not a hive. You're not hive.
We can tell Touré you're going anywhere for Beyonce. We can definitely.
No, I'm just in the hive. I ain't working for nobody.
Keep going, Sarah.
Right. So really what I'm saying is I think that they really just banked on these icons inside of the industry, not taking into account that people like me are lazy and we don't want to download new apps when we already have apps that work that play our favorite songs. I already
spent so much time telling your man that you need him. Didn't want to tell Jay-Z you needed Beyonce's music. What about that, Sarah?
I'm sorry. I'm
buying
sorry.
all these houses. You don't have time to download a new app for Beyonce? We're not talking about Sierra. We're talking about Beyonce.
That's the thing too, Touré.
The Sierra shot is
pay $9.95 a month for Spotify. I already pay $19.95 a month for Apple Music. I'm not paying for any more.
You're the only one on Apple Music. Why are you still there?
I don't know, because people send you songs and they only play snippets of it, or I have to go and search it on Spotify. It's too hard. It's too hard. I don't want to do it.
You sound like the women on Sex and the City. The modern world is too hard. It's so easy to download Tidal and listen to Beyonce's music.
Are you only downloading it now?
Oh my God. Oh God, that was painful. Jesus Lord. Dimitri, can you say something smart? Because these sisters are murdering me today.
I can't. I use Apple Music.
With all three of you.
Wait.
The oldest people I've seen all day long. What the?
Not only that, but Jay-Z's music was also taken off of Apple Music and Spotify when Tidal first came out. And I told myself, Jay-Z just gonna have to miss me with this one.
He gonna miss me.
Hey, I'll get you on YouTube.
Something sacred?
I'm sorry.
Any of you. I can't.
You made a bad gamble.
It was
a bad gamble.
All of you are on punishment. I'm doing the whole next segment by myself because I don't care to ask any of you questions. All of you are the oldest young people I've ever met. Let's get out of this before I low my blood pressure. We're going to politicking. I don't know. Dimitri, I'm so sick of you.
I'm sorry to let Touré down, as we always tend to do on these episodes. But in crazy political news, we don't want to hear shit was trending, and we're here for it. A white woman went viral for straight up telling her kinfolk who voted for Trump, shut your fucking mouth. Look at you.
We don't want to hear shit when you lose your Medicaid. We don't want to hear shit when you lose your SNAP. We don't want to hear shit from those states when FEMA doesn't show up for your tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods this year. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that those tax breaks are not for you, but they're for the rich. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that no tax on tips and overtime ain't even real. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that he is increasing the debt ceiling by trillions of dollars, which is going to cost us a lot, because we try to tell you. So you're excited about this bill passing? Just remember, when all that shit happens to you, to not open your fucking mouth.
You know, I'm here for this kind of energy. The reason I'm here for it is because it's coming from one of their own. You understand what I'm saying? A white woman. See, when we say this shit, they be like, y'all just saying that because you don't like XYZ and he did this and that. Nah, this is actual reality. And now you two are having to face the reality for who you voted for.
No, I'm happy to hear all that shit, all the energy, all the smoke for Trump's bullshit, all the people who are like, this is not what I voted for. It is absolutely what you voted for, Andrew Schultz. It is absolutely what you voted for, Michael Rappaport. And also, let me add to what the sister's talking about. ICE is coming to your community. I want to hear shit when they're taking away people you love. FEMA is going away. I don't want to hear shit when there's a natural disaster in your state and your governor has to beg and kiss the ring and ask Trump personally, please, can we have some funds to save our people from a tornado, from a flood, from a natural disaster? There's so many things that this president is doing, which he told us he would do. So yes, I'm with her. I don't want to hear shit when things don't work out for you because you voted for a maniac.
Yeah,
I feel the same way. I don't want to hear shit when things go off the grid and y'all don't have no flashlights or no food and everything is dark.
We're blaming Trump, not the citizens. We're blaming Trump, that's Canadian. You missed the point of the segment.
I didn't. That's my point. I don't want to hear shit from anybody complaining about anything when you can prepare for all the things that this maniac is telling you he's gonna do. He's telling you our job is to be prepared. I don't want to hear it.
Absolutely.
Sarah, I think you're. Let's bring Godfrey into the conversation. Let's listen to Godfrey for a second. What's Godfrey got to say?
All these rural towns in America are protesting right now. They're very pissed off because their Medicare is being cut off. They can't get health insurance. The Trump administration has cut millions of dollars from their shit. And I'm trying to feel sorry for y'all. But this is what the fuck you voted for, though. And you can get mad at my video. I don't really give a because you being mad at me don't even make any sense. You did this shit to yourself. Some of you minorities, you wanted to be so white adjacent, you thought you was in. Nope! You Latinos, you thought you was in. Nope! I can't believe he tricked us. And white folks, especially poor whites, of course, the whites are the majority. And there's way more poor white people than there are black people or anybody else. All you poor whites are suffering like a motherfucker because you thought you was in. As long as I'm not a black person, I know I'm good. Like Paul Mooney said, you have the complexion for the gut protection. No, you don't have any protection because you thought you was in. You thought black folks weren't going to get shit. Latin people were going to get shit. And you guys were just going to be in. In fact, I'm a Trump supporter now because I'm laughing at the fact that he turned his back on your ass. He said he was going to do that shit. Now you in the camera like, I didn't know. My friends, they're all going to die, man. I didn't know they're going to cut Medicare. I just didn't know. I can't believe it. He tricked us. He tricked I vote for him. He tricked us. What? Wait, what? They're taking this too, my oxygen? Oh, here. Another thing I want to add to this. All whites are not the same. I just want to let you know that. You know how I know all whites aren't the same? Because I used to watch Bob Ross. You know, the famous painter with the afro. He had a better afro than most black people. On his easel, in his paints, he had different levels of white. He's like, I got eggshell white. I got off-white. I got alabaster. And I got titanium. That's right. Titanium is the whitest of the white. That's the Trump administration. Those are the elites. All of you guys that are in those rural towns, the blue-collar workers, all you that work hard and bust your ass, you're whites, you're off-white. You're the lowest of the whites. Oh, please. Whites have been hating whites for a long time. It's called medieval times. You remember Game of Thrones? That was an example of white people not liking white people. And LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, in the 60s, they asked him, how do you get poor white people to still vote for you? Well, I just tell the lowest white man that he's better than the highest colored man. And at the same time I'm telling him that, I'm picking his pocket. Yo, now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yes, yes. We love Godfrey. We love the
So
brilliance.
good.
We love the politics. He's very vocal about his observations. And quite frankly, I agree. Everything he said was right. Clock that. But not everyone feels that same energy. Listen to comedian Rickey Smiley and his ominous warning that we are in danger.
I'm not trying to scare nobody, but we are in danger. If you haven't been watching the news and checking out everything that's going on, we're in a lot of danger right now. Because the Constitution, the United States Constitution, as we know it, they about to cut all through that. And we are accustomed to having rights. All of your rights, all of our rights is at risk right now. That whole Make America Great Again, as far as this administration and the way he is going and the way things are going. And when they say great again, that means your ass don't have no rights. You better look into getting a dual citizenship somewhere if you can, because things about to get ugly. Things about to get really ugly. Yep. And I'm scared. Scared. It might be a point where we might have to pack up our families and leave, because if ICE can get immigrants or whatever and just go and get them and without their due process in court, why can't they do it to everybody else? Now they're doing it to Haitians. And who do you think is next? And they don't give a damn if you're a Democrat or a Republican. They don't care. These white supremacy concentration camps, they're all over the country. They're stocking up on weapons and everything, as if they are preparing for a war.
Doc, what do you think of that?
I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. What is there to say? The only thing I can say that maybe he, downplayed was he said we are, headed for trouble. No, we're in trouble now. Things are happening now. Real life is taking place, and no one's exempt from it. It's just about, whoever Trump feels like he wants to pull the trigger on that morning or that day, before he goes golfing on his golf, one of his golf courses. And it's just like, it is an any, mini, miny, mo situation. And I feel like, people are even also afraid to support, different communities who are being attacked. They just are. It's just a big fear-based tactic. And Stacey Abrams hit it on the point. She said, yeah, he's attacking all the weak. He's attacking the support of the weak. He's attacking the folks who would even advocate or provide resources for the people who are vulnerable. And when you do that, you have no one who's going to stand unified. And all he has to do is divide. We've already been divided before this, and he is in his conquering stage. So I don't even think he needs to divide. I think he's just conquering the division he knew already exists, and he's shining a light on that. And people are really afraid to support each other on just the things that are happening within their own community.
We have seen people practicing what is called anticipatory obedience. So they are doing what they expect Trump to say no to. Like, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to trigger him to come and say no to my institution, my organization, my media. This is extraordinarily frightening because we're seeing people self-policing against what he's trying to do. So we're reaching like a higher level of the game where he told us none of this, and we're going to, like, it's extraordinarily frightening. America has not been at this point, and the danger to our democracy is extraordinarily high if we're not already too far. I'm not sure we should be talking about the 2028 election because I'm not sure we're actually going to have one. That's where we are as far as what I think is happening with our democracy. I want to move on to the main topic because I think it's going to be really special and important for this show. In the age of AI, filters, and fast money, we have a new breed of digital pimps Black men turning social media into a scam game, finessing the sisters with profile lies, fake love, and cash app dreams. Look at this video.
Now, Hollywood Reporter's Rebecca Keegan does a deep dive into deep fakes, and it's a fascinating report. And look at how these scammers operate. They're not just sliding into DMs pretending to be stars like Scarlett Johansson or Common. They're actually using AI, crypto, and messaging apps to run wild with those deep fakes. We're talking fake romances, shady investments, bogus product deals, even political messages, all using stolen celebrity likenesses. And Hollywood has had enough. Here's how these scammers really work, according to this Hollywood Reporter piece. They are very strategic. When going after older men, for example, they pose as stunning but not famous younger women. She's usually stuck overseas, needs a little help, definitely thinks his golf trophies are impressive. For older women, it's a different game, but similar. The scammer becomes a man she already respects, trusts, and maybe even has fantasized about. Think silver fox, wise, charming, and totally fake. These grifters know exactly how to push emotional buttons, and they are cashing in on loneliness, trust, and love. So, how do these scams usually end? Spoiler alert, not with a happy ending. Sadly, tragically. At first, it's all sweet talk. Then comes the ask. My bank account's frozen. I need a flight home. My mom's in the hospital. They never want a video chat. They always have an excuse for that. And suddenly you're wiring money to somebody you have never met. So the red flags to watch out for, those people, those scammers, they fall in love fast. They avoid FaceTime or Zoom, and they ask for money, even small amounts. Their story typically has drama and urgency. And if the person looks a little too much like a celeb or a model, that's probably AI talking. So stay sharp. Protect your heart and your wallet. And if Chris Hemsworth asks you to buy some crypto, or even if I do, maybe think twice, check twice, and block once.
Dimitri, there are actually Nigerian princes who have millions of dollars that they can't get out of Nigeria, and they're emailing people they don't know. However, for the most part, all this sort of stuff is meant to trap people. This is way beyond the basic MTV catfishing we used to see. And you have your own crazy story in this space. I don't know why anybody's checking for your AI, but please tell us what happened to you.
It's not necessarily what happened to me, but what is happening to me currently, meaning actively. If you were to go to search my name on TikTok or Instagram or any social media platform at this point, you'll find probably 70 accounts. You'll find 70 different versions of Dimitri Wiley. And for me, I only have one of each. I want to make this very publicly known. I have one social media account per platform. And that is typically the one with the largest following, typically the one at the top. It's where all my videos come from, everything. Now, in order to get into the story, it's so many layers to it. But once I make a video, you'll see different Dimitris in the comment section. And they're replying back to women like, oh, this is my private page, DM me or message me or XYZ or blah, blah, blah. And mind you, I block them the moment I see them. Every last one on TikTok I have blocked. But the thing about it is the way social media works is it's something you'll never be able to catch. There's always new people looking to learn who you are or spark a romantic connection with you or know you personally. And for me, I've seen it to in a mass degree. I've been years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I had people look me up online and travel to homes I've lived in or owned, or someone went to my grandmother's house in the hood, probably at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, traveling to each and every one. And my grandmother, they knock on my grandmother's door and my grandmother's like, who is it? You know, she ain't gonna open the door for no strangers. We don't do that. But she says, oh, I'm Mrs. Wiley and I'm looking for Dimitri. And my grandmother goes, I don't remember attending a wedding. And she calls me and she calls my mom. And this lady has now found my family's information online. So she's already spoken to my aunt and she's already XYZ and blah, blah, blah. She eventually makes it to my home. And I'm coming back from the gym and I get in and I'm outside my yard because it's a little gated little place. And I say, how can I help you? And mind you, I'm already anticipating this from before. And she freezes. I mean, completely freezes. Come to find out, she's taking a train from like Missouri to Chicago. She's been on the bus all night. And here she is. And she's saying, God told me to come to you. She said, I know you're my husband. God has spoken to me about it. And in my mind, I go, baby, God ain't told me anything. I'm waiting on my message from God, and I've been waiting on my message from God for a long time on Miss Wiley. But if he hasn't spoken to me about it, it's not on you to deliver that message. Now, fast forward, she's bearing gifts and all of these things, and there's a recorder. And when you press play, it's her doing a rendition of You Don't Know My Name by Alicia Keys, the coffee shop scene. And she's like, there's this guy, Dimitri, who drives this car, XYZ, and blah, blah, blah. And it's getting to a point where staff at my son's school has been on similar records. But now we get into this whole scamming detail of it. There's people online telling you to sign up for WhatsApp. I don't have WhatsApp. I'm not on any social dating sites or anything. It's not me. And I can assure you, people are coming to me, people who I've never had conversations with, people who claim to be in the families of these women. Like, why would you do this to her? Why would you hurt her? You claim to love her. In the latest case, a young lady came all the way to Chicago, right? And the only reason I know this is because she messaged my mother. It's amazing that you can find my mother online, but you can't find me. And that's the part for me. So as I'm looking at it saying, are these people attempting to scam me? Or are these people who are genuinely getting, because they're saying they sent these people thousands, 5,000. Now me and my kids are homeless and I'm getting video. I see you got a question, Tori. Hit me with it.
I'm trying to understand the situation. Are people asking you for money? Are they pretending to be you and asking others for money? Like, what is the AI scamming situation you're dealing with?
Pretending to be me. Starting romantic relationships with these women that stem for months. They're giving a month's worth of conversation, but months where you never spoke to this man online. You've never been on FaceTime with this man, and you've never, you know what, Tori, I got a video for you. Let me show you something. Here's a video of one young woman sent me of someone voice AIing me and pretending to be me through messages and cue the video for me, please.
Andrea, listen, two people trusting each other fully, not being afraid to tell the other what one thinks, whether it be good or bad, and the other respecting their opinion. Being able to enjoy the same things with each other, enjoying each other, and being able to take their separate lives and smoothly combine their lifestyles into a couple's lifestyle. I just want you to know that there is so much to come out of this if we just give room for trust and understanding. I see more goodness for this because God just has so much reason for this communication. We can build more in this distance and get to see each other physically and emotional expression with self-confidence.
Why did you say that to her? Why did you send her that voice note?
Oh, first off, I didn't. But I want you to note something. Throughout that voice note, you heard my son in the background. They're going so far to take my son's voice from stories or whatever it is I post and play it in the background to deceive these people. They're saying they're not. It's gotten so bad to where the people in the families, and I don't know the validity of it because I'm viewing people coming to me via the internet. My son has received death threats about this because people genuinely believe it's me. I don't have anything to do with it. And I'm gonna be quite frank with my people. I don't play that. I'm not that type of person.
They've been trying to get money from the girls that they're talking to.
And they're actively doing it. And these women end up with nothing. I'll give you another story. The young lady DM'd my mother all the information and the screenshots and XYZ. This man told this woman to come to Chicago on the 4th of July because we're going to get engaged. She traveled with her 2 kids to Chicago. The moment she got to Chicago, after sending him the funds he requested, he stopped answering the phone. The moment he did, and the conversation continued, they got evil. Like, evil. You ain't nothing but a stupid and XYZ, and you dumb for falling for scams from people and blah, 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 blah. And I have nothing to do with it. But of course, it's my name and my face attached to it, so people are going to come to me. And the thing about it is, it's so bad. I received letters from people. I received a letter maybe not too long ago.
So the girl who showed up at your door thought she had been talking to you.
No, this was somebody else. This is before the AI and all of that had become. But this is how far people go for love, for this idea of romance.
Dimitri, they actually sent screenshots to my DM about a conversation that was supposedly be had between you and this woman. And I just never reached out to you because they were like, he's been scamming me and the police report. I mean, I can show you DMs. I didn't even respond. And it was a WhatsApp screenshot of you and someone else's, allegedly you in this woman's conversation. And you're just like macking her down, and she's sending you money and she's telling you I love you, and you're telling her she's stupid and she's dumb. And I just didn't even respond. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting involved with this at all.
So wait, that's not you. That's somebody pretending to be you.
I've never in my life had a conversation via WhatsApp. I've never in my life made a romantic connection with anyone via social media. That's not even how I engage with people. If I want to know you, I'll let you know, and I will take you on a date in person.
So are you dealing with the police?
Me personally?
On this issue?
Me personally, I went to the police about it just to make note that this is actually happening. Because after my son received the threat, I don't want to be held responsible for protecting my family.
So wait. So you have not made any money from all of this? I've
never made a cent. Anytime anybody,
somebody else has made money from this.
And I tend, not only if somebody else made money, but I tend to believe this is happening from someone overseas. When you actually look and break down these conversations, these are people I think don't even speak the proper dialect of America.
Yeah,
these are people using
multiple
slang
people
of overseas, and they might be getting scammed by somebody in South Africa, and somebody and it happens all the time. I'm just a victim of it. But me personally, I want to go on record and let it be known, I've never taken $1 from anyone online that is not immediately returned with a receipt. If it's not buying merchandise or coming out to a show, never done it.
But now that you're here in this situation, something wrong is happening in your name. This could happen to somebody who's watching. What do you do from that position? How do you move forward? Because just blocking them is not enough.
That's a very great question, Tori, and we're still diving in on answers for that, because these people are hell-bent on the idea that it's me. Like, they're driven to the idea it has to be you. We've been talking for months. It has to be you. But I advocate for everybody to reach out to these social media platforms, whether it's email or customer lines, because the moment you get in contact with them, I've been told that they'll remove the pages, but only temporarily until someone shoots it up again. How I've understood that it works, they're using the exact same profiles to pose as other people as me. They'll just move the videos around and change the profile picture or XYZ. But me personally, I've never taken any. It's so bad. The young lady, after being cussed out by that man who told her to come to Chicago, he eventually apologized and said, we can fix it. I'll meet up with you later, XYZ, blah, blah, blah.
As you?
As me. He said, we can fix it. I'll meet up with you later. He says, meet me at this spot. He tells her, okay, I'm on my way. In 15 minutes after that post, he says, I caught a flat tire. Then proceeded to tell the young lady, you can't send less than $50 on Apple Pay. She goes up and says, 50's all I have. She goes, borrows some money from somebody else, sends this man 100, and he blocks her again.
Doc, part of what I'm hearing Dimitri say is that the sisters are receiving these conversations. They are not having any FaceTime conversations, right? So they're not having the sort of classic, like, see somebody and like vibe with them. They're taking words off a screen or a sound and saying, oh, I'm having a relationship with Dimitri. And I think maybe it's symptomatic of, like, the sisters like are in a sort of love desert, that they would be won over by like a sort of digital pimp like this. Like, how do you become so vulnerable that you're vulnerable to this sort of situation?
A love desert and a love despair. I mean, seriously, you haven't seen a person via FaceTime, no voice, haven't heard anything, and you're just going off of a text message over a WhatsApp application, and you're going to just send somebody money and then borrow money to send them additional money. I mean, we can look at it, like, okay, of course, these scammers and these catfishers are manipulating and preying on women, obviously, who are in a vulnerable position and naive, and, whether they know better or not, they're feeding into it. And then you can also look at the woman's side and go, hey, wait a minute. Why would you even think that this was not manipulation? Why are you sending money to someone you don't know, you've never met, you've never seen? They don't even FaceTime you. and then they block you and mistreat you. And at some point, there's accountability piece that says, at what point why did you not pivot? How did you fall into something of this sort? I mean, it's sad on both ends to me. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. But I think women have to use a little more common sense and understand that this is something you have to be able to have awareness of not getting involved in. Period.
Sarah, in relationships, the lines have been blurring for years as to what healthy conduct is in a relationship versus manipulation. Are we romanticizing struggle love so much that some sisters can't see that they're being scammed because every time somebody says good morning on the DM, they think it's real, but it's not. So they're so thirsty for connection that they'll believe, whatever picture that comes into their DM over common sense.
I think that a lot of women are so desperate to get out of their loneliness that they'll take just about anything. And the thing is, if you're not doing the work to have self-love and empowerment and self-respect and self-appreciation, then it's easy to con you. If you've never had a good meal in your life and all you've ever lived on is bread, when someone offers you fruit, it might be like, oh, let's give that a shot. Or someone offers you a steak. I don't eat meat, but if that's your thing, oh my God, let's give that a shot. I've only ever dreamt of that. And so I think that there is a huge lack in love that people are giving. There's been studies that have shown the depression that could be caused because people never get hugs. They never get touched. And so you have these conversations with women that have never even really gotten attention. I'm assuming these are the kinds of women that never really get attention, because if you get any kind of attention, I expect it. Like, I can't even, my brain can't even wrap around a man asking me for money before I've even seen your face. Sounds crazy to me. Like my whole everything, it viscerally throws me off.
No, I get it, but I do understand some of the issue that's going on for these folks. And I feel like we're a little bit blaming the sisters too much. And they are put in a situation, as I said, where they're in a love desert and somebody seems to be offering them love and attention. And because they're starved, they want it. But the other side of this is that the technology is so good that you can be reasonably fooled by it. I wouldn't think that somebody who's out here pretending to be Dimitri, he's not that famous, right? He's not Brad Pitt, he's not Denzel, right? Like, but people are like, oh, Dimitri, so I can use the voice, I could use maybe an AI image of his face, and people, oh, I'll buy that. But it's that the technology is so good and so relentless. I bet these scammers have a very low retention rate. They send out 1,000 emails, only 1 or 2 people come back to them. So they're failing most of the time, but some people are getting caught up because the technology is so good, Sarah, that it is difficult to know when it's being used against you.
Well, I mean, I hear that, but even for me, I get a lot of blue check marks in my inbox, right? And inside of that, I've had a lot of people reach out, and even still me, I'm like, I'll say, this isn't a real person. There's something about, Brad Pitt's not calling me, okay? George Clooney's not calling me.
He might, girl, he might. Robert De Niro would love you. Are you kidding?
I heard he likes black women, but that's not the point. The point is he's not calling me, okay? So I don't know. And I honestly don't even really feel like this is just a black or brown issue, right? It has been said that there are Nigerians that have some of the tightest internet scams that they run game on even white people. There's a really cool video. Let's check it out. This is a reformed scammer who put us up on game.
WRTV Investigates Kara Kenny spoke with a reformed con artist about how he scammed women.
To make them fall in love with me is just kind of simple.
Chris Maxwell is a former romance scammer who spoke with us from his home in Nigeria. Our connection was not the best, but we got some information you need to hear. First of all, how he met his victims.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All I need to do is just create a fake profile. I text them, they respond to me.
Maxwell says he talked to American women for hours on the phone.
I take my time to talk to them, and it makes it easy for them to fall in love with me.
He used this Nigerian manual on how to lure women in.
It's a format. It's a step-by-step instruction on how you can start a conversation with someone you're meeting online for the first time.
The manual encourages scammers to go after women over 40. They are working, hence they have the money you need. It also encourages scammers to make the conversation all about her. Con artists are told, research your target, including hobbies and pets. The manual also includes this list of 60 compliments you can use, like, you light up my life like nobody else, and you look beautiful even when you don't try. And the guide says don't ask for money outright. Instead, it gives you examples of sob stories you can tell to get that cash.
How much money did you make scamming people?
About 30,000. I need to survive, I was fighting for my life.
Did you ever feel bad?
Yeah.
Chris felt bad enough he quit scamming and now works for Social Catfish, a company dedicated to preventing online scams through reverse search technology.
Our plan was to get married.
Pat Brycruz of Westfield wasn't scammed by Chris Maxwell, but lost nearly $100,000 in a romance scam.
We started talking as friends. How are you? What are you doing? What'd you do today? Just conversation, okay? And then it grew. He says, I really care about you. And then that grew into love.
Romance scams are big business for criminals. Nationwide, they cost Americans nearly $1 billion in 2021.
Because it is very common nowadays, people meet each other online, but the difference is they actually meet in person or talk to you face-to-face virtually. So if you get a situation where the person doesn't even want to get on the phone with you, or they come up with an excuse left and right, or they can't video chat with you, that's going to be a huge red flag.
We shared the Nigerian manual with Jennifer Adamani at the Better Business Bureau.
What does that say to you?
So we're people, and in human nature, you want acceptance and you want love.
If your match asks you for money, that's also a red flag.
They build you up, make you feel loved and wonderful, and then they say, well, it was me. Can you help me out with some money? And it's by the book, apparently, and there's a manual for that.
If you're meeting someone for the first time online, you have to take some precautions, so you won't be scammed.
Sarah, I just want to point out one thing that we saw in there, that the man who has time to talk to a woman and make it about her, she will like that. She will like it. I know a lot of brothers are going on dates and not asking the sisters any questions about them. This is just basic good dating practice. Talk to her, make lots of time to talk to her, and ask her questions and listen to the answers. That is revolutionary stuff for American men.
I mean, yeah, and I think that there are a lot of American men that need to take a page out of that book inside of their dating experience, just as you said. But $1 billion? That's how much our desperation costs? $1 billion? That is so much money that people are getting scammed out of. And, in our culture, some Black men have gone from protectors to clearly predators, okay? Our sisters are getting scammed in the name of hustle culture and their own economic survival. Why is it easier for some Black men to scam Black women than to actually just build with them? Like, why is it easier? If you know that you have this woman that has your back, if you know that you have this woman that's going to support you, love you, and if you catch a flat, I need $100. If that's the case, why not just be in a relationship with them?
Well, that was a book about how to scam white women. That was white women. So we're not tagging our sisters in on this one. We're gonna sit this one out. That book said, how do you get a white woman?
Yeah, they tend to have more money, but y'all fall for the same shit.
And do X, Y, and Z. And Torre, please take several seats. We're not gonna have you on this show talking about white women make or have more money than Black women.
Of course they do. But y'all follow the same
First of all, no, they do not. You need to do your research, because white women are at the bottom of the economic chart, Torre. Sorry, Black women are actually killing economically when it comes to white women. Take several seats. Let's not do that, whitewash. What I was saying was that book was for white women, had nothing to do with sisters being scammed or hammed on any of that. So the question is, why is it becoming so easy for Black men to scam white women? Because white women are obviously that desperate when it comes to love. The powerhouse Black woman is not desperate. We taking trips, we spending money, we building pools, buying houses, and whatever the hell else Sarah's doing, we doing.
That's true, but most sisters are not doing that. And the love desert that we've been talking about pretty much the whole show exists for them as well. Obviously, the sisters will also fall for this same bullshit. because they're not being treated properly by the eligible men in their world.
The sisters, you know, Torre, that are attached to your mindset that's off and victimized and European. But the sisters I know, I ain't heard Sarah tag into that. We're not being scammed and scamming men and having to do all those things to be in a relationship. We ain't desperate, we ain't lonely, and we are.
All the women who showed up
that.
at Dimitri's house are black.
I think y'all
Hey, that's
missing the
Dimitri.
point.
They're all AI people too.
It's not a black or a white thing. It's all women. It's everybody. And the thing about it is, it's so heartless from what I've seen. The young lady who traveled to Chicago with her family included, I hate to put it out here online, but you can tell visibly there's some disability associated to this. So everybody's a victim of this. It's everybody who sit and desires that aspect of love in life that's falling victim to it. And in all actuality, it's hard to be attached to, you know, because it's so heartless. I don't push a negative agenda anywhere in life. So to hear how these people are cussing at these people who've only tried to help them, it's a vulnerability that they're attacking. And it's black women, white women, anybody men, everybody, anybody who has an essence or wants to be loved. So for me, to watch this guy say, I did this for a living, when I tell y'all, I knew it was $1 billion industry from the numbers they was kicking out to me. It was another story. A young lady sent me a letter and say she drove from Atlanta to Chicago because somebody told her to.
Was she black?
She was black.
Oh, wow. Another black woman.
I think it's fragile women. That's what I think. I don't think that vulnerability, naivety, or fragility has a color. I think that it really has to do with the way that you view yourself, your level of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-love. And I think that that's really the challenge here. And I hate that this is happening, but it just goes back to do the work on yourself. Now, here's a question for you guys, because I didn't know that, Dimitri, where you just said you could tell that she visibly had some sort of like ailment, illness, mental disability, whatever that could be. Was it all of those women that were going for you?
Was all of them more like no, these were very normal women too. And the thing about it is I get probably like 30 DMs a day where somebody said, oh, I almost got scammed. This is very, very normal nowadays. And I'm doing my best to rectify the situation so that social media understands that it's not me. I only have one account. If you want to talk to me, hit up the Truth Talks Lounge. I won't be anywhere my name is not attached to from the actual page. But I don't know. Terror is terrible.
Yeah, well, Torre, so here's a question for you, because I do feel like we shame black women for falling for the scam, but not.
Wait, I thought black women didn't fall for the scam. What happened?
You better stop playing, sir.
We're shaming them for falling for it.
Right here.
No, it's even in the script that black women fall for it because we know, of course they do.
No, you're right. She can read the script. Dr. Bryan said that the black women that I represent do not fall for the scam, nor are we scamming black men. That's what I said. And I also said take several seats.
You're all black women.
Black women and trying to tee up white women because that's your preference. Let's not go there. Sarah, you can continue.
Okay, continue. This is the question. How come not the black men for running the game like that's their job? Like, why are we wronging black women for falling for it, but we're not identifying the predators that are doing it? Are we dealing with broken men or men who know exactly what they're doing and just don't care who they hurt? Like, why are we pinning this on the women instead of the men?
No, I completely agree. We should not pin it on the black women who are falling for these scams. They are victims here. That is a horrible thing. I want to look at the men, but the men who are supposed to be dating them and supposed to be giving them love and assurance. Even if I don't want to date you, I shouldn't leave you in, as I've said, a love desert to where you're like, I will fall for any scam because there is no love coming my way at all. But I think also men are socialized to look at women as a game that they can play. So if you play the game the right way, you get sex, you get an ego boost, and you get maybe to control her, right? So you get to say to your friends, look, I have this woman and I'm getting this and this and this out of her. You're not seeing her or dealing with her as a whole human being, but as a game you could get something out of. So our brokenness in terms of our inability to relate to women as human is leading to us treating women this way. and putting them in a situation where, yes, I could understand where a guy who's willing to talk to them for 2 hours would be like, yeah, he seems great.
Right. And you know what? I will say this as something proactive for the women and even the men, because men get scammed too, is if you are talking to someone, FaceTime. FaceTime. This is a real thing. FaceTime. Run receipts. Like reverse image search his photos, check public records, and Google his story, right? Trust him, but also verify. Another thing you can do is make sure you never send money to someone you've never met in person, ever.
What if they really need it?
Well, even if they do need it, I don't know you well enough to send you money. I've never seen your face. I can't send you no money. Don't ever send no money to somebody you've never met in person. And then also talk to your tribe, because sometimes love can be so infatuating that we get lost in the wave of it. And isolation is a scammer's weapon. If your homegirls are giving you the red flags, listen. If your homeboys are telling you, yo, like this girl is probably like scamming you, listen, ask, and move with logic and not loneliness. Real love won't pressure you, play you, or leave your bank account on E. So I think it's just really important for us to make sure that we are doing the work to make sure, like I already said, don't let loneliness cripple you into getting scammed.
I think that's a great point, Dimitri. You wonder about the state of Black love. Is it dead? You see so many women falling for these scams, both white and Black, being emotionally robbed, spiritually bankrupted, maybe financially depleted. As Sarah said, so smart. Whether you're a Black woman or white woman, love should not leave your bank account empty. It should definitely not leave your heart empty. So, like, is it a larger problem with Black love that so many people, white and Black, are falling for these scams?
No, I don't think Black love is dead at all. I just believe we have to learn to not be as desperate for it as we are. I think we have to learn to sit with ourselves and understand that being alone is not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's a superpower. So when my person shows up, I know exactly who I'm supposed to be for them because I know exactly who I am. And I just want to add this for the people watching, for the people out there who have possibly can fall victim to a scam. They're going the distance to prove it. And the only way for you to prove it is to ask, just like Dr. Fano said, FaceTime it. I've seen these people. I've got screenshots of Chicago area codes that they're messaging. So these people are going the distance to fake it because they know you're sending them thousands of dollars. I'm talking about from 5 to 10. I've seen people saying, be careful, trust your gut, and make sure that you're asking the right questions because any little suspicion is a red flag enough to stop.
Ladies, every king in your DMs is not royalty. Some are just crown-wearing con artists with Wi-Fi and a Cash App tag. Some are named Dimitri. Some are not. You can never be certain who you're really talking to. In a world where love can be faked with filters and deep fakes, protect your peace, protect your pockets, and above all, protect your power. Real love does not come with wire transfer requests, and it doesn't empty your bank account. That's our show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Truth Talks-Live. Watch us simulcasting here on the Black Star Network right after Roland Martin Unfiltered every night. Don't forget to support Black media at Cash App Truth Talks Live. You can join us and advertise with us and join our 10 million viewing audience. Small businesses and influencers partner with us at truthtalkslive.com. Go to any co-host room on the Truth Lounge. Tell a friend to check us out every night, 8 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. PST. We'll be back next week, every night at 8 p.m.
Don't forget, real love fills up your bank account. So if you have any catfishing or scamming stories you want to share with us, DM us. We want to hear it. We want to share it. Good night, y'all.